Whales are accumulating these two altcoins after Trump won the election. BitTensor soars 20%, and is ETH finally ready to take off? This is your Altcoin Buzz News. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Cody, and if you're new here, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you know when we drop latest content. Follow us on Twitter, Altcoin Buzz IO, and as always, not financial advice, and wish the best of luck in your crypto ventures. The market has finally turned green, and the Trump rally is here. The next year is going to be epic. Lock in your Altcoin Buzz Alpha yearly subscription for only $165. That's less than $14 per month. This might be your last chance to get an Alpha subscription at this price. Members have gotten real value for money with our best-in-class calls and Alpha. Get exclusive access to over 100 calls per month. That's 1,200 calls per year. Our calls include gem hunting, buy and sell calls, market reports and predictions, strategy discussions, Alpha and alerts, portfolio reviews, airdrop participation, and you can ask our researchers. But hurry, as limited seats are available. Subscribe by fiat or pay by crypto with the links down below. Alright, you guys, starting off today, we have Bitcoin holding up above $74,000, which is good. It's just under 75K. We are holding above this big blue box right here, which was resistance, and now hopefully it is turning into support. I'd like to see us hold Bitcoin above this price of around $72,000. Anything around here is fine. I'd love to see us hold above this blue box. Totally fine for consolidation over the next couple of days. But it is kind of looking like we're just going to kind of consolidate on Bitcoin. We need to go, sideways a little bit before we can make our next move up. So Bitcoin looking good on the high time frames. So starting off, Bitcoin preps FOMC reaction as Bitcoin's price coils below the new record high of 76,500. Bitcoin's price reached a new record high of 76,500 before the pullback as the Trump pump happened the other day. And as the dust settles on the US presidential election, Bitcoin continues to enjoy strong demand. In his latest analysis on X, Trader Skew said that this decisive factor is in buoying the market, one that was previously absent. So strong spot flows today have lifted price towards new all-time highs and through multi-month support zone of 73K, and further signs of major shift are taking place in the underlying market. So the underlying market shift here is clear from the return of passive demand for Bitcoin, limit spot bids. So we're finally starting to see limit spot bids in the order book, something that we haven't seen in a long time. And basically that means investors are putting limits down where they want Bitcoin to go and they want to bid. This is something that we haven't seen a lot of in the past 6 months or so as Bitcoin has just chopped up and down. So we're starting to see a big demand for Bitcoin. Now that we've broken through this resistance, any pullbacks people want to buy. And that's usually what happens in bull markets where we start to get lower and shallower pullbacks because everyone wants to buy it. And so we usually don't get that low. So the characteristic of a bull market is that we get shallow pullbacks and it just keeps going up. Where when we're sideways, you get all the pullbacks you want and it's not really a good entry because it's just chopping up and down. Whereas, if Bitcoin is up here, you probably want to buy here, but it doesn't let you and it only pulls back to here and keeps going. That's the characteristic of a bull market. And we're finally starting to see that. So it's good to see, limit orders in the books again. But also we have FOMC soon. And John Kicklater says, here's my FOMC scenario table for tomorrow's rate decision. Market, the Fed's fund rate are dialed for a 25 basis point cut, but the outlook beyond is growing blurry. All things being equal, I would have expected this to be a discounted event, but with volatility already high. So further volatility is expected later in the day as the Federal Reserve meets to decide on changes to the benchmark interest rates. So if we have Trump becoming the president, Fed fund rates are being cut, money is being injected into the system. The global monetary supply, the M2 money supply around the world is going up. China, other central banks are cutting rates and injecting money. It's all great fuel to the fire for Bitcoin. And now that Bitcoin has finally broke out, traders are setting targets for $100,000. I've even seen some traders saying $100,000 before Trump takes office in January, which is only 3 months away. I can totally see that. I think once this bull market starts getting going, we're probably going to see like $1,000 a day for just days on end. Bitcoin will continue to go up. And it feels weird because we haven't had it for a while. We haven't had bullishness, so it just feels weird to be bullish when we've just chopped so long, and it feels like we can't remember how bullish things can get. But leading up to Trump coming into the office, and this is Q4, money is being put into the system. I think we're going to get to $100,000 probably faster than most people think. Next, we have Ethereum. Why is Ethereum's price up today? Ethereum has been one of the worst performers lately, but hey, it's finally catching a bid and is actually outperforming Bitcoin today. So Ethereum's native token Ether is on the road to deliver its best weekly performance since May, after Donald Trump's win in the United States. Since May, that's crazy. It's been since May, since it's had this kind of a good week, and it's only up 16% this week. So ETH is up to around 2880 on November 7th, including 10% gains in the last 24 hours. The crypto's rally mirrors upside moves elsewhere in the crypto market following Trump's victory. So ETH finally starting to look decent. We are still at this major area of resistance, and so I'm not going to get super bullish until we are above this. However, there's a smaller level of resistance we have broken here, which is around 2780. So we have broken above this. So the first thing I would want to see is us to break above this level. This isn't really where I'd want to long because we're just longing straight into this major level of resistance. So I would really only want to see us break through here, come above 3,000, and then come back down and hold somewhere around here. And this is where I'd want to do any kind of longs. But basically, we are just coming right into a huge level of resistance right now at around 2,900 to 3,000. So this isn't somewhere that I'd be getting super bullish just yet. It is great that ETH is finally starting to pump, but I want to see it come back above here. And then, we go to our next highs from around $3,000 from the top side instead of from the underside. So ETH, finally starting to look good. Trump has promised to introduce pro-crypto policies in the U.S., a step away from the Joe Biden administration's hardline approach towards the sector, and the boost the so-called Trump trade sentiment, wherein cryptocurrencies like Ether are benefiting the most. Furthermore, the president-elect, or Trump, holds 495 Ether worth $1.41 million in his private wallet, according to Arkham Intelligence, and such investments from high-profile figure is also boosting market sentiment. And market analysts say ETH could very easily double in a week or two. I do believe that. It does happen all in, look at this. It all happens in a singular week or two. It went from $2,300 all the way up to $4,000 in the course of 38 days. So just over a month this past February to March. And so that was 80%. And that was before we started, having Trump come into the office. So this thing could easily double. I just want to see it get above this blue box first. Commonwealth has been on our radar for quite some time. We love that they democratize access to capital for early stage projects. The projects win as their fans can support them with early investments, and investors win because before Commonwealth, these early stage opportunities were only for VCs or the top 1%. Now, anyone can get the chance to back projects they love. In case you haven't seen this project before, we've been following it for a while, and its ethos of giving everyone a fair chance to invest. They also recently shared that they've just reached $9 million of assets under protocol in just 5 months, and will only go higher. And since Commonwealth is a funds-based early stage investment protocol, they have a variety of funds you can invest in. The Priceless Fund, a total of $2.4 million in early stage access across 15 projects. No investment was necessary. Participants in the fund earn their slice through online tasks. Then the Alpha Fund, a $1 million fund focused on next narratives. It's deploying into projects now through community vote. Then there's the All Street Fund, a fund of funds, providing quick, easy access by taking 10% allocation of other venture funds. And then there's the Wealth Fund, powered by transaction fees and deploying into projects proposed and voted on by All Street, as well as DETFs, which are coming soon and made up of Web3's top picks. And since starting these funds, they've had $66,000 in community returns and counting. They have 3 funds live and growing, 23 high potential projects on board, 2 new funds launching soon, and more payouts on the way. All Street is just getting started, so check out Commonwealth with the link down below. Then we have Lido. Lido DAO emerges as a top gainer on the back of whale accumulation. Lido has also been one that hasn't seen very much, much in the news, very much price action. But now, with ETH pumping, Lido's pumping as well. So Lido DAO recorded a strong bull run as positive sentiment surrounds the crypto market. Lido DAO has increased by 33% in the past 24 hours and is trading at $1.40 at the time of writing, and its market cap is currently sitting at $1.26 billion, with the trading volume over $300 million recently. So Lido's bullish momentum started after the Bitcoin reached new all-time highs above $75,000 after Donald Trump's victory. And despite the price hike, Lido is still down 92% from its all-time high of $18.60 in November 2021. Notably, data shows that Lido's relative strength index, or RSI, has surpassed the 80 mark, and the indicator suggests that the asset may have entered the overbought zone at this point. Now, on-chain data shows that the increased whale activity happened around Lido before its price skyrocketed. According to data from Into the Block, the token's large holder net inflow increased from 645,000 Lido to 69.26 million Lido yesterday. That's a huge pump in a singular day. And so this is the highest level of Lido whale net inflow since May 2023, when the asset was hovering close to the $2 mark. And the movement shows strong whale accumulation and interest in Lido. Usually, rising large holder inflow could trigger the fear of missing out, also known as FOMO. And considering that over 60% of Lido supply is sitting in large whale addresses, the sudden price surge could lead to massive price fluctuations. So that is something you have to watch for. Because mostly whales hold this, they also can dump the coin pretty easily as well. Now, Lido, similar to Ethereum, is not at a level that I want to get bullish just yet. We are sitting at this level where this is a massive zone of resistance here. So this big blue box between $1.50 and $1.60, this is resistance right here, and we are now wicking into it. And you can see we wicked into it before, and we're about to wick into it again, and then maybe reject. So you don't want to get too bullish. You don't want to start buying this too much right now, or trading it too much. I mean, if you want to buy a spot and you like Lido, although it hasn't had very good price action for the past few years. But if you do like Lido and you want to buy it spot here, that's fine. If you want to trade Lido, it's not something that you really want to get into unless it gets above this area of resistance and flips into support. And so pretty similar to ETH, we are coming into a big level of resistance. So you want to watch out for that. Did you know the oldest and one of the biggest Bitcoin Layer 2 networks is making some big moves? I'm talking about Rootstock and the Rootstock Collective. The collective is launching its first DAO on Rootstock. Now it can go fully decentralized and community-based. So let's take a look at the Rootstock Collective, the first DAO to launch on Rootstock. Rootstock started in 2018, making it the oldest Bitcoin Layer 2 network. And just last month, the Rootstock Collective DAO launched. And the team is celebrating with a huge event on Galaxy that includes 3 different quests. All the quests use the same Rift token that projects use to build dApps through Rootstock tools. The Galaxy quests go from now until December 18th, and you can win your part of $17,000 in prizes. So check out Rootstock Collective's quest on Galaxy today with a link down below. We have BitTensor soars 20% amid growing market optimism. So BitTensor, which I actually really like, AI, Layer 1 AI token, has risen almost 20% in the last 24 hours. The Ichimoku cloud reveals a key resistance zone ahead, with Tao nearing the cloud, but needs to break through it to confirm an uptrend. So this is what I like about TA is a lot of times you can trade a different way. You don't have to trade the same way as I do. But a lot of the indicators and a lot of the ways you trade kind of come out to be the same exact thing. So for example, there's EMAs, which are these lines that show, a smooth average of the trend. Then there's Ichimoku clouds. Then there's what I trade, which is just price action and order blocks of supply and demand. And a lot of times they come out to show you the same levels pretty much. So Tao's Ichimoku cloud shows an interesting scenario where this Ichimoku cloud chart for Tao shows the price moving upwards towards the cloud, suggesting increased buying interest. However, it also implies that selling pressure may be still present, creating a barrier that Tao, the biggest artificial intelligence coin in the market, will need to overcome if it continues rising. So for Ichimoku, they make these like clouds. There's these red clouds and green clouds. And so this red cloud is an area of resistance here. And it's funny because this area of resistance is exactly where I would also mark it out as an area of resistance in my own just trading. So if you look here, I use support and resistance, and this is an area where price has started to break down. So I use this as an order block. And so this is an area where I would say, hey, this is resistance, and it came up here, and now it's, it's resisting and it's actually breaking down. So this, for me, with my trading style, would be an underside retest where we come down here, we retest this, and then we continue downwards towards this blue box, which I think might still get hit. I'm not sure yet now that Trump is president. It might just come down here and then break back above, something like this. But I was planning that, Tao would come back down to this blue box, but things are a lot more bullish now, so we'll see. However, this is exactly my trading style where if we flip it, this is what I would take to be a long, where we come back above, we retest the level, and then we go higher. But since it's, it's an underside retest, it's a short. So it's funny because this is exactly the same level. And then I'm sure if you put on the EMAs as well, if you put on some EMAs, yeah, the EMAs more so line up of the same area where the EMAs, it would come here. You see how we wicked into this level right here, this EMA. So we wicked in and then we broke down, and now we're starting to break above. So this is an area where we could potentially hold above these EMAs right here. So these EMAs are just the 13 and 21 for, a lower time frame. So, a lot of these things, they're kind of more ways to show the same process of trading. So however you want to trade, whether it's Ichimoku, EMAs, you know, whatever, Ichimoku clouds, EMAs, or my style of price action, a lot of it shows the same exact thing. And they also show that BitTensor's RSI is now overbought. So the RSI as well is now, up here above the 70 level at 74.5. So basically they're saying, this huge spike right here made it overbought. And so now it's going to have to sell off potentially a little bit. And so it's also showing that this was, a big leg up, and it's probably going to come back down. So a lot of these things show the same exact, show the same thing. So yeah, we're pretty bullish right now. However, it is okay that we have a little bit of a pullback. If we do pull back into this area, no big deal. We're just waiting to buy any dips. They might not be shallow if we're very bullish. So we're going to watch for these anywhere between this blue box of 71,000 up to around 73,000. Anywhere around here, we want to buy or bid because we're in a new bullish environment, and this is great. This is a great time to be invested in crypto. Great time. We've waited 8 months for this, so this is our time to be bullish again and hopefully start making some money again. But that is it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys tomorrow.